Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, Gumball Head, on the 13th of May, 2026. It's a Road Rant series where I talk to you about stuff that I want to complain about, and you listen because I have a microphone and you don't, so you'll listen to everything that I have to say. 64 degrees outside in Cincinnati here, and the sky is blue, the sun is shining. It rained last night. It's nice and cool, though. It's not hot. We have 166 miles still empty, and this is the DTE series where it's road rants, but I have a twist. I tell you how many miles I have until my gas tank goes empty, and you try to guess by the end of the week what's going on. Last Thursday, I started a weekly shout-out to Tommy Wise of the band Anti-Wise and Dan, Punk Rock Dan, of Anarchy to Diapers podcast called Soundcheck, and I sent both of those guys a message with a band that I liked that I wanted to have them listen to, and I am going to turn this into a consistent podcast because I know they don't listen to the podcast as frequently as I wish they did, but I'm going to see how many episodes it takes of this podcast, of me mentioning them and mentioning Soundcheck, to see before they let me know that they heard about themselves on my podcast. So I'm going to mention it, but this is the launch pad of that, of testing the waters of Tommy Wise and Anarchy to Diapers and seeing whether or not they actually listen to the podcast. If they do, how many episodes is it going to take before they respond to me and let me know that they listen? But I don't want it just to come from Tommy and Dan. I want it to come from you guys. If you guys listen to our podcast, you got feedback for us, send us an email. NormalIsn'tNecessaryPodcast@gmail.com. That's how you get in touch with myself. That's how you get in touch with the social media manager. If you want to do an interview with us, if you've got a mission, if you've got a band, if you've got a business that you want to talk about, we want to interview you. We don't want to do normal, extremely famous people, although we do them every once in a while. We just want to talk to normal people, everyday people that have interesting twists in their lives. We want to see how the other half lives. We live our lives day to day. We wake up, we take care of kids, we go to work, we come home, we take care of kids, we go to bed, and we repeat it every single day. We live the Anarchy to Diapers moniker through and through, as that podcast states, but we are a happy family and we're self-contained, so we don't really rely on outside society in order to maintain our day-to-day lives. My wife does some social media promotions via TikTok and Amazon. You guys are more than happy to go check her out over on TikTok. She's in my friends list. If you want to know what her links are, they're in our bio. The link is in our bio at our website, gumballhead.com. But just check us out. See what else we got going on. I wanted to talk today a little bit about being a parent, and more specifically, not just being a parent, but being a pet parent. We have 2 cats that went in to get fixed today. They've been cats the whole time, kittens. They've acted like kittens. They've done the scratching on everything. They've done the gun and heat thing. They've done the snuggle with the parents, snuggle with the kids. They've done the I hate you moments. We got toddler felines in our house, and it's kind of cute. But today they're getting fixed, and we're hoping that it changes their behavior a little bit because we're kind of tired of the way that those cats behave sometimes. So I see the castle coming into view here as we're getting ready to cross the bridge into the state of Kentucky, and looking forward to getting into work this morning and getting our day started. We don't know what the week holds for us unless we plan it, unless we're consistent in our observations and we try to make good with the things that we do. That being said, how organized is your life? How can you tell me right now exactly, without looking, how much money you have in your bank account? How observant are you of that? How observant are you of society. How observant are you of the way that society influences us? Now, I don't get onto TikTok very often anymore. I used to, but I noticed that when I get on TikTok, I get a lot more spam calls. I get goofy follows from people that have, 10,000 followers and they're following 5 people, and vice versa, following 7,000 people and they only have 5 followers. So I know that it's kind of like the international spy network, and I try to stay away from that. And ultimately, a lot of the social media platforms are doing that these days. Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. I get snaps every once in a while from one person, and even they have gone to the wayside because I quit responding to them because of their behavior, because of the way that they behave on Snapchat. And I don't buy into the behavior because I don't want to feed into that toxicity or promote that toxicity. My mental health is not a sourdough starter. It does not feed on the sugars of everything else that's combined. It works in a very linear fashion, and it's intelligent in its own right because I have control over what my thoughts are. Sometimes I'll fall asleep thinking about my workday, and I actually tell myself, Gumball, hey, man, stop thinking about it. It'll be fine. You're going to be okay. You'll handle it tomorrow. Take care of business the way business needs to be taken care of. Just exist, just be, do what you got to do. So, it is what it is, and it's difficult sometimes. It's hard to turn that brain off, especially when we got a lot of things going on. We got bills to pay, we got ideas of bouncing all around inside our skulls, and things that we need to worry about, things that we need to take care of. We need to make sure that we maintain that mental health stasis that keeps us focused on the things at hand. Sometimes it's a challenge. Sometimes it's difficult to do. But once you start to learn how to be able to curate that path and that thought process and the way things work inside your mind, you can start mastering your own mind, and you can start changing those thoughts and those feelings and those behaviors, and start changing the way that the outcomes are of your day-to-day life. And once you get control of that, it makes life much more satisfying and gratifying. No simple tricks. Really, just be honest with yourself. Be honest with your progress. Be honest with the things that you do. Be honest about the things that you think. And if you need to talk about things, talk about them. It's difficult for men to do that, even when we say, we run a mental health podcast and this and that and the other thing. But it's strongly encouraged. Now, talking about menial things here and there, little things with little nuances, that's one thing. But if you're challenging your brain to keep going every day, the only thing that I can say is please reach out. You're more important than anybody else knows. You're more important to this world than you know. You're more important to me as a listener, as a person, as a human being, as a encyclopedia in your own right. You matter. No matter what you think, you matter. And I'm proud of you. And if nobody's told you that today, at least I did. And I'm happy with everyone that has come onto our podcast, everyone that listens to it. Obviously you guys are doing me a service. You're offering me the opportunity to keep going, paying attention to societal needs, paying attention to what my mental health needs are. And, you help me go. If it wasn't for the listeners like California sitting at 1,798 downloads for the month of May already, thank you. Our advertisers are there, try to help us out a little bit, but we don't make any money. We don't make money from those advertisers. But if you want to donate, you're more than welcome to. Jump over to our website, gumballhead.com, or check out our link tree. And there are opportunities there for you to donate. Rainbow Cat, great organization founded by our 7-year-old, or 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 6, 7. And that goes towards Clubfoot Kids and towards medical bills for his most recent surgery. And you can donate to the show, and the show will be able to continue to utilize those funds to stay on the air and make consistent payments for our podcast and for our website and for other things like giveaways. If anybody out there has any concepts or ideas regarding how to promote ourselves a little bit more, we do everything on our own. We don't do any news advertisements. We don't do any TV. I've had this fantasy of doing a billboard someday, but we're not there yet, and obviously our Road Rants production value is pretty low. We have a good microphone, but you can still hear the background sounds. That's a niche. We're doing that on purpose. We want you to hear that we actually are doing what we say we're doing. We want you to know that we are talking while we're driving, paying attention to the road, but also rambling on. Sometimes I get into some really good conversations with myself, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I start it over or I just throw it away altogether. There's a lot of stuff out there that we do that has to do with our podcast and the way that we do it. And when we get in the studio, it's quiet. We got good production value there. We got microphones, we got headphones, we got monitoring, we got all that stuff. Can't do that on the road. So you can't take the time always to do a good podcast on the computer, because sometimes it doesn't work that way, because, life, kids, parents, doing our things. Guys, I hope you have a good day today. I hope everything is joyous. I love you all. I hope everybody has a great day. I just want to remind you, stay strong, stay focused, stay sober. Much love, guys. We'll see you soon.